You know, I don't do a lot of these rambling videos so much anymore. I've just been really busy, and I just felt like this was a good opportunity to actually go back into one of these kind of rambling videos, talk about the future of Magic the Gathering, my opinions on serialized cards, and also the universes beyond and the direction that Wizards of the Coast seems to be taking the game. Now, it's no surprise that Wizards of the Coast is looking for new players. I mean, at the end of the day, you want Magic the Gathering to be a game that is sustainable in the future, where there's new players coming in. While that will be an issue if there's going to be a lot of players exiting, as long as you're getting more players into the game, that's completely fine. And we know that after Magic 30th, there's a lot of people that have left the game. Some people might not have actually left the game. They might just be a little upset. They might come back in. But again, that's like a cycle. Like, I went in and out of the game a few times, but the longest break I really ever took from Magic was like 4 blocks. So I missed like 2 or 3 years. It wasn't like anything crazy, but usually people take a few years off of Magic and then they kind of like, you know, get back into the game, whether it's a set or just, you know, longing to play with people at their local game store. Now, just browsing Amazon, and I found these pre-orders for Doctor Who. And first I was like, wait, like, I know they're doing a lot of Universes Beyond, but I thought like a lot of them are going to be exclusive to Secret Lairs, which I was completely fine with at first. I was like, that's actually really cool. You know, have something that's kind of exclusive, collectible to people who might be in a particular niche or a different hobby, a different IP, a different brand, and you can find ways to kind of cross over that way. I actually thought that was kind of a cool idea. But now seeing a lot of these booster boxes with like with the logo, like Doctor Who or Lord of the Rings, or, you know, who knows what's gonna be in the future, like Final Fantasy, stuff like that. And then you look at that and then you just see the Magic the Gathering logo, which is really small on the box compared to the Doctor Who, which is like the main focus on it. It made me realize that Wizards of the Coast, they're not just desperate for new players to get into the game. You know, they're obviously greedy, like a lot of companies, like they want to make a huge profit, and this is obviously a way that they think is going to get new players. I think it's a bit short-sighted, but it really does feel like Magic the Gathering's future is going to be crossovers. More than you'll know. It's going to be crossover versus crossover. There's going to be more crossovers. We're going to get more sets like Doctor Who. We're going to maybe get Marvel sets, Capcom sets, maybe a Marvel versus Capcom set. And it can maybe work to get a few people into the game, or at least buy the product, but will it actually get people into the game? Because from my experience, the people who get into the game are usually taught how to play by Magic the Gathering players, people who were taught by their friends or their play group. So really, you should be supporting local game stores, because the game stores and the people who go to the game stores, they're the people who actually get people to come into the game, new players, not just like a random IP crossover. So we're at this weird stage now where Wizards is very desperate. It's just obvious that they're trying to find a way to grow the game, but they haven't done the work throughout the years. They haven't made a natural attempt to grow the lore, the fantasy, the IP, the culture of Magic the Gathering. You know, I was looking at a lot of photos from the Magic Minneapolis Fest, and I saw a lot of cosplays and people on stage with these elaborate cosplays, and I was like, that's really cool. These are really well thought out costumes and stuff, but some of them I didn't even really like, and I make Magic the Gathering content every single day, and there's a few there I'm like, wait, who is that again? I had to go and research. So if I'm someone who actually knows a fair bit about Magic the Gathering, I've been playing for a long time, I have a YouTube channel, and like some of these cosplays aren't really ringing any bells, that means that like the culture and fantasy and the lore, they're not pushing it enough. They haven't found ways, but apart from like trailers and teaser trailers for an upcoming set, you know, they haven't really made any TV shows like they said they were going to make. They haven't really made any mangas, animes, comic books. They used to. They kind of, you know, filled out all the things that you were supposed to like bring more lore and fantasy into the game and get people to buy things other than just Magic the Gathering cards and product. I feel like they phased them out for I don't know why. I don't know what the reason for that was. Like, they used to have actual novels that you get in your bundles or fat packs that you could read, and it would tell you about the lore. That was actually a really unique and interesting way to get people to be more fixated and more like dug deep into the actual lore of Magic the Gathering, which I think ultimately in the end is what Magic really needs. You know, the Dungeons and Dragons film, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and I was like, I almost felt jealous of the Dungeons and Dragons fans because they got so much out of, you know, liking their game. They've gotten so much from Wizards of the Coast, even though they've been pretty stingy in the past, but they've gotten stuff from them, you know, like culture, like films. And now Wizards of the Coast doesn't do the same thing for Magic. We don't have like a TV show, we don't have a movie. These are other ways that you can get people in the game. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the card game. And I know people are gonna be like, no, Magic, it's just the card game. No. You look at brands like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And other trading cards that are very successful, and it's not just about the card game. If you want to grow the game, you can't just make it about the cards, and I think they kind of know that too. That's why they're doing these crossovers to make cards that meld well with these different IPs, like Doctor Who, because they know deep down inside that's not just about the card game. If you want the game to grow, you have to get people aware of Magic the Gathering. Now, whether you're getting them to be aware of Magic the Gathering because you have Doctor Who on there, it's kind of like, okay, that's fine. That's a big IP, I guess, but Magic the Gathering is a pretty big IP as well. Most people I talk to, at least, are aware of Magic the Gathering. So, I mean, when it comes to awareness, does it really need these crossovers to be like brand aware? Or do we need to grow the culture, the lore, and the fantasy, and bring people in naturally to the game? I think that's the best way of doing it. Apart from, obviously, local game stores when it comes to the actual trading card game, you know, getting people to learn how to play through the local game store or through friends, which is the way I learned how to play Magic the Gathering, is through a friend. And ever since then, you know, not only am I grateful to learn the game, but I'm also happy because I was able to make a YouTube channel as well. It's something I dedicate a lot of time to, and I'm just thrilled to share that with you guys. But I want to know what your thoughts are on this. It was just a video that I kind of wanted to make, a little bit of a rambling video, just because when I saw that Doctor Who thing, it just struck a nerve with me, and I thought, this is the future. This is where they're going. They're really going for it. Like Universes Beyond, crossovers, not just secret layers now. We're getting collector boosters, set boosters, draft boosters, maybe some, oh yeah, that's right, jumpstart boosters now with pretty much every set as well, on top of the regular jumpstart booster boxes. So it's going to be a wild ride, so strap in. This is the future of Magic.
Use promo code Mattcaster for 5% off your order at Face-to-Face Games, Canada's largest Magic the Gathering store. Qualified orders get free shipping Canada-wide if you use our promo code Mattcaster at checkout. Whether you're buying singles or sealed product, use our code to support the show and get a discount.